said, "Don't you want to join the Navy?" And I said, "Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea." My brother had been in there since February, and when I shipped over to Saipan, when I set foot on Saipan, May 8, 1945, my brother went into picket duty on a destroyer at Okinawa. They were taking care of the invasion there at Okinawa. The only problem was that we lost 5,000 sailors at Okinawa, and none of them ever set foot on land. They were just the kamikaze planes from Japan came down, sank many ships, and destroyed a lot of things. And my brother's ship was there, destroyer 748. But I was on Saipan at the time, and we were getting ready, prepared for the big invasion, which would have been the island of Japan. And thank God it didn't take.
So when did you get out as soon as the war was over, or you had to serve into the next year?
I signed on for duration in 6 months.
Oh, okay.
And it was pretty close to that. 6 months, I was out.
So August it was over, and then September, November, January, like March of '46, you were out.
The next year, I stayed around for a while there on Saipan, but the next year I went out in July. So it was almost exactly 2 years in the service.
Okay.
We had some excitement there on Saipan. They had a typhoon come through, and we had to anchor all of our
Quonset huts.
all the
Are they called Quonset
huts
yeah.
that we worked in. We'd anchor them down with forklifts and
Cargo nets.
a little bit of everything.
And hurricane was coming through.
It never really came off on Saipan. It came off up Okinawa.
Yeah, I think the fleet had to ride it out at sea.
Oh yeah, they had a big problem there. But
so what's else on your list?
I just sat it out the whole time and enjoyed it. Nobody on the island was married or had a bunch of responsibilities. And then we finally shipped home 5,000 land-based sailors, and we shipped it to San Francisco.
Did you go to Chinatown?
And we took a train home. I did anyway. I was.
So we're Bruno. What's it, Fort Bruno or Camp Bruno or?
I had a 30-day leave before I had to go into camp to get out of the Navy.
Yeah.
But I got out of the Navy, and then I had to go back to high school. I had another year or so of high school, which I finished in D.C. And then I went on to the University of Maryland and finished that. And after that, I got into business for myself. $300 I borrowed from my brother. I've been there 64 years, and I still work here.
Oh, well.
How did this war affect your family and friends?
Say that again?
How did this war affect your family and friends?
Affect me?
Your family and friends.
Well,
did they all come home crazy?
We were coming out of the Depression, and things had changed. But my dad was quite active, and he was the 7th architect of the Capitol. And we never really felt the Depression like most people.
Did all your friends?
I lived in D.C. and that was.
Were all your friends in the Navy and Army and everything too?
All of my close friends served. Ray Ross was a merchant Marine.
Ledane was a
Bob
Marine.
Lane was U.S. Marine. He was at Iwo Jima,
Yeah.
and but they all waited around until he finished school,
Yeah.
and
They were older than you, I guess.
yeah, they were. I was a young member of the crowd.
All right. What else? What else do you have in there?
I think you should relate what your source of entertainment was while you were in training, dancing with your source of entertainment. You got to dance with the inmates of the mental institution.
At Williamsburg, it wasn't a very large city at that time, and the only thing they had with excitement was the insane asylum, and we used to go over there for dances. And when you danced, you didn't know whether you were dancing with an inmate or a nurse.
Because they all dressed alike.
Didn't they have a bunch of German and Italian prisoners there from North Africa or something?
Oh,
We
yeah.
had about
Oh, yeah.
we must have had 50,000 of them there. The Germans.
Very young. Very young.
We'd taken them out of the fields in north Ethiopia.
Yeah,
And they were shipped to the United States to keep them out of trouble.
Well, I think they got a lot of prisoners in the North African campaign.
Yeah.
Surrendered.
Well, I remember working in the cooking department with the young German boys.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, they were 15, 16 years old. So I guess they ran short of men over there in Germany. They were putting everybody to work.
Well,
Yeah,
weren't
what
you
else?
kind of talking with them, and weren't you?
Oh yeah, my officer told me I better quit talking to them or I'd be in trouble.
You get thrown in the.
But I keep telling them, I said, you're losing the war. The war's going to be over here
For you, the
shortly."
war's over.
And they said they wouldn't believe me.
And then when you went to one of the bars, there was Red Skelton.
Oh yeah.
Who
Well,
was,
these people don't know who Red Skelton
well,
are.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he was a famous
Comedian.
comedian. Later on, at that time, he was just in the
That
service.
was in between times.
He was in the service, and he became
I walked in a bar room, and us soldiers and sailors and everyone, we'd sit at the same table. And we were sitting there, and the guy across from me was a sergeant in the Army. He said, when the waitress comes back, tell her who's this friend of mine who stepped out for a few minutes is, and we'll get free beer all night. And the guy came back, and he was Red Skelton. And he put on an act there, and we got free beer all night. But
And
that
then
was
why you were busy manicuring the lawns with scissors and running the pool hall, and you said you wanted some action.
Yeah, we got that.
I told the captain that, and
The
he
next
gave me
day-
some action.
The next day he
Yeah,
was
what do you
shipped
got?
out.
What else you have, ma'am?
Did this conflict have any lasting impact on yourself or your family?
Oh yeah, it changed mine. I was a pretty wild kid, but after that I was settled down, man.
I didn't know him then. Only
Well, I
afterwards.
didn't get married for 8 or 10 years. I didn't marry till I was 29, and I got out of the service when I was 19.
Did you tell him that on Saipan, the commanding officer was your neighbor?
Oh, she knows more about it than I do. No, the other naval station there, naval supply station on Saipan, just close to us, was run by my next door neighbor at home,
Whom his cousin married the son.
Captain Beer.
Yeah, you know, from
Mm.
Williamsburg, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't a fighting man. I wasn't in
Did
the
you tell
front
them
lines
that
with
they
it.
offered you what early dismissal?
Yeah, they told us that we'd get out of the service earlier. We got out very early anyway, but we'd get out very early if we went to one of the islands and practiced with the,
Oh, and getting mines, wasn't it?
where was it?
Mine sweeping, wasn't it?
Mine sweeping and mine sweeping. Mine.
Oh, well,
Sweep.
we had an alternative. It was either the mines or testing of the atom bombs against the naval ships, which they did. They put the naval ships in there and
And
they
then
set
they
a bomb
offered
off in the
to
center.
send you to flight school.
And I said, no, I think I'll just stay right here. And I did. And I sort of enjoyed Saipan. It's just a wonderful thing that we didn't have to go north and attack Japan itself. Okay.
Next.
Do you think this war was a just and necessary conflict?
The war was absolutely. If Hitler had had his way, he'd have taken over all of Europe and England, and we'd have been next. I think he was ready to dock in Mexico. He's trying to get the Mexicans to go along against us.
They were very close with their.
They wanted
missiles.
California and
then,
Texas
and then
back.
when he quit, there was the Japanese. And then we had to go out in the Western Pacific and fight the Japanese.
If they had
And we
to,
fought them from island to
if they
island.
had to have invaded Japan, the Japanese were of the mentality they never gave up, would never ever
They were
surrender.
very religious group.
So going and invading their homeland, they wouldn't have given up. We would have lost a lot of men. So it was very important that the bomb stopped it from having
That
to
it?
invade.
Well, I think the Japanese have been in a lot better position today